The following is a presentation of 912 Sports. Welcome to On Air with 912 Sports, your number one source for high school sports. With Sean Smoke, Kevin Price, and Robbie Ross. On Air with 912 Sports is brought to you by Coastal Pines Technical College. Go Coastal. Prime South Bank. Find your prime. Robbie Robertson Ford, because Fords are cheaper in the swamp. Gibson Animal Clinic, practical solutions with limited fees. Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, the region's best orthopedic care. And Kim Smoke, licensed realtor with Crossway Realty.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member
Welcome, sports fans, and thanks for watching On Air with 912 Sports. I'm Sean Smoke, publisher of 912 Sports, joined by head writer and podcast host Kevin Price. Kevin, how you doing this evening?
Good, Sean. Good to be here talking high school sports. Pretty good weather so far here this week for late February, but spring is here and still crossover season, as you're going to see as we talk about things here. But winter mixing with spring, but some good stuff going on here in Southeast Georgia for sure. Yeah,
and anytime you can see that 70 on the old thermometer in February, it's a pretty good day.
That's right.
But Ken, we're going to start off talking about our region champions in basketball. As a matter of fact, we've got some state playoff games that's going on this week. You're going to give us a report on that a little bit later on in the show. But we want to go back and congratulate these guys for winning region titles. And we had 4 of them. And we're going to start off with the girls. We'd like to congratulate the Ware County Lady Gators. They came away with the Region 1 5A championship after going into the tournament, Kevin, as a 3 seed. Was able to batter their way all the way through and wound up beating one of the top-ranked teams in the state there in 5A in Bradwell Institute. So congratulations to the Lady Gators. They were led by Tree. Tree, her nickname is Tree. She's their senior. As a matter of fact, she is our Coastal Pines Player of the Month. You can read all about her on our website. But just a huge win for Coach Mandy Linkenfelder and the Lady Gators there.
Yeah, Tree McClendon, right?
McClendon, that's it.
McClendon. A senior, definitely has led their way this year, as a player on the floor, but a leader in the locker room. And this is a team that's maybe peaking, getting hot at the right time. And to win that game against Bradwell on the road, was played at Liberty. Not sure what was going on with Bradwell's gym there, but still in Hinesville, Bradwell was the host. And Bradwell's been a top 5 team, I think, pretty much all year there in Class 5A. They, of course, were in 6A last year, dropped down this year to 5A. They've got those 2 girls that are really good for them, and it was their region to win. And Ware got hot right here at the end. Tree led them, And just a great finish there by Ware to get that region title and get that job done there at the end. So an exciting finish for Ware County in region, get some momentum going in the state.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, Kevin. It's funny. The one basketball game I went to earlier in the year to watch the Lady Gators was against Bradwell here at Ware County, and Bradwell handled their business. I mean, it was almost a 20-point spread there, at the end of the game. So it just shows you the progress that Ware made throughout the season, getting better and better as the season went on, and was able to go on the road and get that victory. So, again, congratulations to them. But also another girls team, Kevin, a team that you know very, very well, that you've been doing on Golden Isles basketball, a lot this season, and that's Region 2 6A region champs, the Brunswick High Lady Pirates. So congratulations to the Lady Pirates over there in Brunswick.
Yeah, well, they won again, and last year they beat Bradwell, as a matter of fact, in the Region 2 6A tournament. So Brunswick, much like Bradwell that we talked about just a minute ago, been ranked in the top 10 all year, been ranked in the top 5 a good bit of the year, and that's where they are now, one of the better teams in Class 6A. They've only lost 3 times all year, 24 wins on the season. And I mentioned it last week, Sean. I'm not so sure that they're playing as well overall at this time this year as they were last year, but still another region championship under the belt, another good opportunity to make some noise here in the upcoming Class 6A tournament. Obviously, we're going to talk about that here in a minute going forward to see how Brunswick did, but certainly just focusing on the region right here. It was their region to win. Right. They were the heavy favorite going into the season. Probably a weaker region this year than the one in years past. Certainly losing Bradwell made the region a little bit weaker. Some of the Augusta schools nowhere near quite as strong as Bradwell coming into the region. Glenn Academy rebuilding as well. Glenn, finished 4th overall, lost in the consolation game to Grovetown. South Effingham was the number 2 seed. They were the nearest competitor, the nearest challenger to Brunswick all season long, and Brunswick beat them all 3 times, beat them by 20 last Friday night at BHS in the region championship game. And the Twin Towers have played well for Brunswick all year long. Brunswick's gotten good guard play throughout the season. So, again, we'll just see how they do in the state tournament. But to get more than 20 wins again and to get that region done when it was theirs to win, certainly another great job by the Lady Pirates.
Yeah, undefeated in the region, right, Kevin?
Right. A sweep of the region championships, regular season and tournament, and perfect run through the region. Yep, won all the games in the regular season during region play, and then a couple of wins, of course, in the region tournament. They had a bye all the way to the semifinals. The region protected the top 2 seeds in boys and girls, so they were assured of making it to the semifinals and, of course, being protected to go all the way on into the state tournament as well. But they finished the job and won in the semifinals and the finals.
Right. So congratulations to the Brunswick High Lady Pirates there. But moving on over to the boys, we also had 2 region champs. First in Single A, Region 2, Division 2, your Charlton County Indians, Kevin. They had a great season. As a matter of fact, you got a young man, Jarvis Wright, leads the state and made 3-pointers. As a matter of fact, he's also our Coastal Pines Player of the Month. So you can read all about him on 912sports.net. But Jarvis has just been playing lights out. He's a sophomore. They got a lot of young talent. Actually lost to Clinch County a couple of weeks ago, and we thought that was going to come down to a Clinch-Charlton battle. It didn't even get there. I think Charlton wound up playing Turner in the championship game, but won handily. So they're going to go into the state tournament as the number 1 seed.
Yeah, and we thought that again that this might be Charlton's region to win, but a tough region, and they kind of had the monkey on their back all year. And again, they had to stay the course and get the job done. A lot of talent on that team. Coach David Bailey's done a great job, meshing that talent, meshing the egos, if you will. But a lot of good kids. I really didn't mean it that way, but there's only one basketball, and
exactly.
He's done a good job of keeping those guys humble, keeping them staying the course, and they're well coached, and a lot of athleticism on that team, good inside, outside game. The right kid, like you said, can light it up inside. They got some size. So Single A down there is tough now. It's going to be a tough run for them in the state tournament. But the good news, they're going to start out at home for a couple of rounds. That's what they're assured of as a region champion. You get at least 2 home games as a 1 seed, because if the seeds hold, you should be playing in the Sweet 16. You should be playing a 2 seed if they win. So you're at home automatically for 2 rounds. So Charlton has a chance to stay right there in Folkestone and get a couple of wins before they possibly have to venture out on the road. So I'm excited to see what Charlton County does in the postseason. Should be a chance to make a great run down there, but nonetheless, another good run through the region for them.
Yep, so we'll see what the Indians can do. And then our other boys that are region champion is Region 1 5A Bradwell Institute Tigers. The boys over there went in. I think they went into the tournament, Kevin, we determined as a 2 seed, but was able to play Coffee, was able to get a win in overtime against Coffee and come home with that region title. So congratulations to the Bradwell Institute Tigers there.
Yeah, that's a pretty good basketball region. I don't really know much about Greenbrier this year, but they were the 1 seed. Bradwell's obviously has some good teams. They were the 2 seed. Ty Randolph's bounced around throughout Southeast Georgia, but he's their coach. The number 3 seed was Statesboro. Coach Keith Legree back there for his second year there.
Very good basketball team.
Very good basketball coach. Certainly a good basketball tradition. Then Coffee's had some good teams here in the recent past. I know they've had some wars with Brunswick High, just to mention one team. So they were the 4 seed, I think. So actually, it ended up being the 2 versus the 4 because Coffee ends up beating Greenbrier in the semis, and then they get to play Bradwell, and that game was an overtime game. So what a championship game that was before Bradwell pulls out a close one. So, really good tournament there. And because those teams are battle-tested, could be a good run, chance for those teams to kind of flex their muscles in state and get more than 1 or 2 victories there in the opening round.
Exactly. But that's our region champs for from the 912 area that we cover there. And then we're coming right back here. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come right back here and talk about the wrestling state champions for traditionals that went on in Macon this past weekend. So we're going to talk about all those guys right after these words. But you're watching On Air with 912 Sports. Stick around. We'll be right back here after these words.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robertson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Call on us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
Welcome back, sports fans, and thanks for watching On Air with 912 Sports. I'm Sean Smoke. He's Kevin Price. We're going to talk a little bit about the big wrestling tournament that went on up in Macon. Kevin, this was the traditional tournament that went on in Macon this past weekend. This is where you basically are as an individual, but you do have points that go together for a team championship as well. We'll get to that here in a minute. But this is all about the individual. So when you're an individual, you wrestle through the brackets, and if you're the last man standing, then you're the state champ. And we had 5 of those this past weekend. And we're going to start off with 2A and the 215 pound weight class. Senior Jaden Lyons of Pierce County was able to come home with the gold medal there, Kevin.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Pierce has had some state champions before, and so he keeps up a tradition for them of coming home with a gold medal. So, and I know he's happy to do that his senior year.
Yeah, a lot of pride goes into that. The Carter kid comes to mind when you think about Pierce wrestling. I think he won it 3 out of 4 years. So they definitely have had their fair share of state titles over there in their wrestling program. But moving on up to 6A. 6A, the same weight class, Kevin, 215 pounds. Maybe these guys need to get together and have a South Georgia wrestling off. But Anthony Lowe, the junior out of Brunswick High, comes home with the gold medal for the Pirates.
Yeah, and just to mention, a footnote or two about him, he finished third last year. We thought he'd have a shot getting it done last year. Of course, he gets it done this year, wins the state championship. He will be back next year because he is a junior. So I would think he would certainly be having a good chance to repeat. You never know. But the big thing about him, he was 50-0, Sean. So he showed up ready to go every time he wrestled. And he didn't wrestle a bunch of slouches on his way to the state championship because Brunswick wrestles in a lot of good invitational tournaments. Obviously, they compete in a tough area where South Effingham and Glenn finished first and fourth, respectively, in state duels. And then, matter of fact, I think right there after the state duels and before the traditional season kind of started, Brunswick hosted a big tournament that included teams like Camden County that we're about to talk about. So there's a good chance he went through somebody at Camden as well in that tournament, if not somewhere else during the season. I'm not really 100% sure, but to go 50-0, that's pretty strong. And then win the state championship to boot. I mean, you can't get any better than that, than perfect.
Nope, yeah, perfect is perfect. But Anthony Lowe, one of our past Coastal Pines players of the month there, so congratulations to him on that. But like I said, we thought last year he maybe had a run, but he comes back and gets it done. And again, like you said, Kevin gets a chance to come back and try to do it all over again for his senior year. But that's going to move us into 7A, and we've got a couple of 3 of them to talk about here in 7A. 7A in the 106-pound class, Bradley Patterson from the Camden County Wildcats comes home with the gold medal. And I think Bradley is a sophomore down there under Coach Jess Wilder. But I tell you what, man, that Camden program it's year after year after year. They just keep producing those state champions.
No question. You're going to go ahead and talk about some more, so go ahead, and then we'll just kind of
we got a few more to get to. And also 7A in the 120-pound class, you've got Hunter Prosen of the Camden County Wildcats. Hunter, just a freshman. And then we've got in the 175-pound class, we've got Ryder Wilder, which is Coach Jess's son, young freshman there as well for the Camden County Wildcats. And I'm pretty sure – I don't know how many wins he had, but I'm pretty sure that Ryder was undefeated on the season as well, Kevin.
Yeah, so again, can't get any better than perfect, and to cap it off for the state championship is awesome. And of course, he's just a young buck, so he's certainly going to have some more chances as well. But that's just the Camden State champions. There's some pretty other astounding numbers there, Sean, that you're about to reel off for them. But I'll just go ahead and add some comments. I don't know if it was a banner year for South Georgia. We talked about it before we did this segment that we've certainly had more state champions. But, very well, I don't know the exact number, but, just scrolling through the brackets and seeing some things on social media this week, a lot of state placers in Southeast Georgia. Some of the same schools that we mentioned that had these state champions and others. So certainly a strong year for Southeast Georgia in the 912 coverage area. When it comes to how we did at the state level in traditional and duels, of course, with some state championships to boot for teams. And we talked about it, Sean, for the whole winter now, that wrestling's certainly alive and well. It's grown, and we're getting depth in teams, and we're getting a lot of success, therefore, because of that in team strength, but also individual strength, as we see a lot of these guys stack up with other guys in other areas and place them high in state and win a state championship.
Exactly. And you talk about placing. Camden took 14 guys to state. All 14 of their guys placed. So that means they were 5th or better in that category. So, I mean, that's super impressive. And we talked about it. Listen, duels is a team wrestling match where, you wrestle in each weight class and you accumulate points. In traditionals, you accumulate points by guys winning and guys placing. And therefore, for the 7th straight year, Camden County is your school state champion for traditionals, as well as the same thing that they were as duels. So I think what do we say? It was 9 in a row, 10 out of 12 years in duels, and now this is the 7th year in a row that they've been the traditional team champs as well.
And of course, Almighty Buford had moved up to 7A this year, but didn't seem to bother Camden.
No, didn't bother the Wildcats down the road, that's for sure. So, but Kevin, we mentioned in the first break, we've got some basketball stuff, updates that we're going to bring you right after this break. So y'all stick around. We appreciate everybody watching On Air with 912 Sports, but we'll be right back here with more right after these messages.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Calling us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
Hello, everybody. Kevin Price for On Air with 912 Sports. On Tuesday night, I was out at Brunswick Square Garden on the BHS campus. That, of course, is Brunswick High School in Brunswick, for the Brunswick High School Lady Pirates first round game in the Class 6A state tournament against Thomas County Central. We called that game on Golden Isles Basketball, our broadcasting platform on 912sports.net. As usual, throughout the 2023 season, Golden Isles Basketball has featured the teams at Brunswick High School and Glen Academy, boys and girls. But the Lady Pirates were big winners Tuesday in their opening round game on their home floor, knocking off Thomas County Central 71-36. The Lady Pirates improved to 25-3 on the season. Thomas County Central came in here as the number 4 seed out of Region 1 6A. They finished their season 17-9. Of course, the Lady Pirates ranked 5th in the state coming into the state tournament. They were coming off another Region 2 6A championship where they swept the region schedule throughout the regular season and then won 2 more games in the region tournament to win all 14 games they played against region opponents this year. But again, win number 25 for the Lady Pirates comes in the opening round of the state tournament. Great balanced scoring effort for the Lady Pirates in this one. Shanae Jackson, big senior center, had 18 points, really dominating in the paint for BHS. Shemaya Flanders, another part of the BHS starting lineup, forms the Twin Towers with Shanae Jackson, scored 11. Dariana Johnson, a good game off the bench for BHS. She had 10. The Lady Pirates took control of this game from the beginning, scored the first 6 points of the game, led the ball game 18-9 after the first quarter, 41-16 at halftime, and 60-29 after 3 quarters. With that 31-point lead, per rule, state rule, they had a 6-minute fourth quarter. Anytime a team leads by 30 or more going to the fourth quarter. It's not a running clock, but the game is shortened to a 6-minute fourth quarter. Now, things will get tougher for the Lady Pirates moving into round 2, which of course is the Sweet 16. 16 teams left this weekend. We don't know whether the Lady Pirates will play Friday or Saturday at the time we're doing this report, which is immediately after the ball game on Tuesday night. But the opponent will be Woodward Academy. Woodward, a big winner in round 1, 72-33 over St. Pius. Woodward Academy 22-7 on the season. Now they are ranked 4th in the state, so the round 2 matchup right here at Brunswick Square Garden will be the number 4 team in the state versus the number 5 team in the state, Woodward against Brunswick. And of course they were the number 2 seed, Woodward was, out of Region 3, a really tough region which includes Lovejoy, Forest Park, and also Rockdale, one of the only 3 teams to beat Brunswick. That's who Woodward lost to in the region championship game. Woodward, by the way, the defending state champion in 5A under Georgia High Schools Association's reclass. They move into 6A this year and are competing in that ultra-tough Region 3. So a big-time matchup here this weekend in round 2 to see who moves on to the state quarterfinals and the Elite 8. Brunswick did that last year. We'll see if they can do it again this year. Now, I'll be back in a moment with a recap of Brunswick High's boys' first-round game against Tift County, which was played on Wednesday.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kevin Price once again for On Air with 912 Sports. Now for that BHS boys recap from the opening round of the state 6A state tournament. The Brunswick High School Pirates won a well of a game, 60-57, Wednesday night in overtime here at Brunswick Square Garden over the Tift County Blue Devils. The Pirates now move on to face Jonesboro on the road Saturday night in the second round of the Class 6A state tournament. We thought it would be close throughout the game as we did the game on Golden Isles Basketball on 912sports.net. We said it in the pregame, and it was really about as close as it could be throughout the ball game. The largest lead of the night, 7 points by the Blue Devils in the third quarter at 32-25, but the Pirates come back and tie the game up once again going to the fourth quarter. Get this, the Pirates led 16-14 after the opening quarter. The game was tied 24-24 at halftime. It was tied 36-36 after three quarters and 51-51 after four quarters before the Pirates pulled out the overtime victory, again 60-57. Now the Pirates were down late in the fourth quarter, and they actually trailed the ball game 51-49, and a missed free throw by Tift County kept the door open for the Pirates to tie the game with a 2-point bucket and not needing a three. They raced the ball down the floor. Kamarion Johnson, their senior 6'5" guy, has the ball in his hands. He, of course, does not want to go home, does not want this game to be his last game, and he scores the tying bucket before the final horn to end regulation with a spin move and a short jump shot on the baseline. The thing is, he scored 10 of Brunswick's 16 in that first quarter. He had 14 of their 24 at halftime. But in the third quarter, he did not score. In the fourth quarter, he had 2 free throws, went without a field goal in the second half until that tying shot. The Gebhardt kid for Tift County did a well of a job on him defensively to hold Kamarion Johnson, Brunswick's leading scorer, without that field goal or without a made field goal in the second half until right there at the end. And then in overtime, Kamarion Johnson also made a couple of big foul shots to give the Pirates the 3-point lead with over 14 seconds to play. Tift County comes down. The Pirates play good defense, and Tift County settles for a three-pointer by probably not one of the guys they really wanted to shoot the ball. The ball was shot too strong off the rim. The ball tipped around, and the Pirates come away with the rebound and win the ball game in thrilling fashion, 60-57. Perennial heavyweights going at it here tonight. The Pirates were ranked in the state going into the region tournament, fell out of the rankings right before the state tournament started, but by Max Prep's rankings, the Pirates were 12th in the state. Tift County was 14th. Both teams had over 20 wins coming into the game. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution called this the best matchup of the first round in Class 6A, and boy, it certainly was. If there was one better than this, I'm sorry I missed that one too. But after the ball game, we did talk on air with Coach Chris Turner, head coach of the Pirates, and Kamarion Johnson, our Martin's Funeral Home player of the game. Kamarion did call that shot his biggest of his career here at Brunswick High School, and while he was answering my question about that, Coach Chris Turner certainly back there in the background nodding his head like it certainly was. And then we talked to Coach Turner again after the ball game in his office, and here's what the head coach of the Pirates had to say about that great win by his team here tonight. Coach Turner, talk about that game. Obviously a well of a game. We knew it'd be close all the way between you and Tift, and your guys hung in there and pulled it out despite being down late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a game. Probably one of the biggest games we've had here in a long time. It was kind of hard to see either team. My hat goes off to Tift County and their coach, Coach Blackshear, who's a good friend of mine, who's done an amazing job at that program. They're considered one of the top programs down here in the South, so we knew it was going to be a real tough game coming into this. I told my guys, I say, look, you don't come in here all business with Tift County, they're going to whip your tail. And we knew that, but it's hard for either team to have to lose in that game because it was so hard fought on both sides. But I am glad that somehow we were able to come on top tonight, and I'm really proud of my players.
Coach, obviously, Kamarion Johnson, who scored over 1,000 points in his career, had a big shot for you there at the end of regulation to get that game into overtime. He had been held without a field goal throughout that second half until then, after having 14 at halftime. So just talk about a guy who possibly could have been frustrated, but he's a scorer, he's a big-time player, makes the biggest play of his career, like you told us after the game on the broadcast.
Yeah, that has to be, if not the biggest, up there on his, to be able to, down the stretch we were getting ready to call a timeout, and I was about to call it, and something in my gut said, look, just let it play out. And I said, just keep the ball in Kamarion's hands, and he was able to make an unbelievable play. I think he went left, then he went right, then he went back to the rim. I was like, where's he going? And then finally he just makes the shot. And then Ryan Rankin at the free throw line goes up and tips the ball to Butler. Those are two special plays throughout that game, and we were able to hit some really big shots. And I thought our team played hard on defense as well, down the stretch. And you got to give Tiff credit. They play hard. It's hard to score on them because they're all in a pack line help defense. And if you don't move the ball and you try to beat them one-on-one, it's hard to beat them. They had a game last year where they won 32-24. Yeah. So they're trying to slow the game down. They're trying to keep the game under 40. And I'm just fortunate we were able to somehow score, 60 points tonight.
Yeah, 60 to 57.
They were all earned. And so, and that's a credit to Blackshear and Tift County basketball. I've been here many years, and we've always had tough games against Tift County.
And, Coach, obviously you're going to get a team that you're no stranger against either. Their head coach as well, Jonesboro. Looks like you're going to be playing them in the Sweet 16 on the road at their place, third ranked in the state. One of the state title contenders for sure as far as the rankings go.
Yes, sir.
But there's probably nobody tougher in the state than the Grovetown team. You had to play 3 times in the region, twice in the regular season, and then once, of course, in that region final. But you're going to go to Jonesboro with a lot of momentum. I know you know at least a little bit about them before really breaking them down in depth on film. But just talk about that matchup there in the second round.
Yeah, I think me and their coach, we call him the mailman is what he's called. But, he is a great basketball coach. They're going to play hard. They're going to be tough. They're going to be ready. I think they've only lost one game in the state of Georgia this year, and it was to McEachern, who's a really good basketball team. So they're used to winning. I think their other 2 losses came out of state. So I know we haven't had a whole lot of success against Jonesboro. I think I've played them twice and have come up on the short end both ends. But, I'm excited to get a chance to go play another basketball game and to get to practice with my guys. And we are going up against a tough task. But I don't think anybody in the state's any better than Grovetown. I know Jonesboro is going to be good. They got great guards. They got great bigs. They're going to play hard. But our kids have played 3 tough games, and one of them we got whipped the last game, but in the first game. So, but one game we were able to sort of stick in there. You just got to believe. These kids have got to go in there believing they can win, and they got to they got to play as hard as they possibly can, and hopefully not beat ourselves with live ball turnovers, things like that. If we don't turn the basketball over, we'll have a shot as long as we can rebound.
All right, Coach. Well, good stuff. Coach them up, and good luck to you this weekend against Jonesboro.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. We appreciate Coach Turner's time, as always, coming over to talk to us after the broadcast, and then again in the office there after the ball game, after also talking to local newspaper reporters. So we appreciate his time. So the Pirates will move on and face Jonesboro, a perennial heavyweight, as well in the second round in the Sweet 16 on the road. That one's Saturday night, so another big-time matchup for the Pirates here in fabulous February. And again, we now know that the BHS girls will be at home on Friday night at 6 p.m. against Woodward Academy. 2 other great teams going at it, like we've already mentioned. Woodward, the number 4 team in the state. The Lady Pirates, the number 5 team in the state. Again, a heck of a game in the Sweet 16. It will be at Brunswick Square Garden Friday night, 6 p.m. tip time, and we'll be here to call the game on 912sports.net as part of Golden Isles basketball. I'll be on the call along with my usual broadcast partner, Dan Moore. So for On Air with 912 Sports, I'm Kevin Price.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robinson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
This has been a presentation of 912 Sports.